go ahead and jump into this video. If you've never seen me before and you want to subscribe, cool. If you've been here before, great seeing you. All right. But this video, like, I don't even want to film. I don't even want to film it, to be honest. I've been procrastinating, walking around my house doing nothing for like the past 3 hours because I don't want to film this video. This is not something that I want to talk about. But here's the thing. I'm going through a healing process right now. And I understand that part of the reason why I didn't want to tell this story is because I was protecting my abuser. Do you understand? So that's why, like, it's important to me to just pull back the curtain and be 100% honest about my experience on this planet. And, you know, I'm really making this video because I want people to understand that you can overcome anything. You can overcome anything, and you don't have to be like a fucked up person. You don't have to turn into like a narcissist or a psychopath just because bad things have happened to you. Like, bad things are gonna happen to you. That's just life. And, you know, like I said, going back to the healing thing, this video is a form of my healing. Talking about this in such a public, on such a public platform is, I don't even know. You guys always compliment me for being real and for being honest. And not to you, but to me, this is like the fucking elephant in the room. Like, the reason that I was homeless, my time being homeless, and like the fact that it still haunts me to this day, like, I just hope that this video can help somebody. Please, for the love of God, use me as an example that you can literally overcome anything. You can overcome anything, and you can become better and stronger because of it. Period. Yeah, this shit is embarrassing. Another reason why I have never done this story is because I have best friends, because at this point in my life, I have no best friends. Like, me and God is my best friend, okay? But my best friends, I never wanted them to know that I was sleeping in a car, that I couldn't shower for like, I couldn't shower. Okay, the way that I carry myself and my whole brand as a human being, me being homeless literally goes against everything that is Brianna. It goes against everything. Like, I'm talking about the way that I was raised. I'm talking about everything that I stand for. Everything. Bitch, it even go against my common sense because I was an idiot. I don't regret anything that I've gone through in my life because I turned my pain into profit. Which means everything that I've gone through in my life has ended up working for me in the long run. All good things work together for those of them that love the Lord. Okay. This story time takes place around the time when I first met my abusive ex. I have done so many story times on this fool. And, you know, it's okay that I was stupid. It's okay that I prioritized someone else over myself because I understand pain. It's okay. Like, I forgive myself. I don't even, oh my God. Let's just get into the story, okay? So this is around the time where I first met my abusive ex-boyfriend. So I didn't know that he was abusive yet. And I just felt so bad for this kid. Like, you know, when I met him, he just had so many secrets. Like, what's your job? Like, what do you do? Oh, you work under the table. Oh, you've never had a real job, but we're like 19 years old. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm not shaming anybody, but like, I grew up as like a very, very spoiled young woman. So like, when I turned 18, I was running to get a job, you know? So to meet someone that was like 18, 19, 20 and didn't even have a job, that was weird to me. There was a lot of red flags, bitch. There was a lot of red flags where a lot of things about my ex-boyfriend just wasn't fucking normal at all. And I don't mean like, oh, you know, he dips Oreos in peanut butter. That's not normal. I mean like just certain stuff as a self-loving person, as the person that I am today, it's just like, if the bar is on the floor, I don't even want to fuck with it. And like with him, the bar was on the floor. Like his mom had like hella roaches. I would turn the light on. I mean, it was just like a level of poverty, bitch. My ex-boyfriend introduced me to a level of poverty that was absolutely fucking unfamiliar to me. And I'm not gonna sit up here and act like it wasn't, bitch. He introduced me to a way of life that I don't even feel like was necessary for me to go through. Like, if I never met that fuck, I would have never gone down that path. But hey, it made me stronger and it gave me a story to tell you guys. When I met my ex-boyfriend, I was very much a lonely person. You know, I used to like latch on to people that had like similar souls to me. I trauma bonded with a lot of people. And I've talked about trauma bonding in some of my previous videos, where basically I kind of like equated, oh, well, we went through some fucked up shit together, so like you're loyal to me, or I mean something to you. We mean something to each other. Like, just because you went through like something fucked up with somebody, like, doesn't mean that you have to value that person, value that relationship, or that that person values your ass, okay? And I had to learn that the hard way. And it's just like, even before I met my ex-boyfriend, I let so many waste of time ass people in my life. And I'm just so happy that like he is where I draw the line. Like, my ex-boyfriend is where I draw the line. I never want to experience people like him in my fucking life again. Like, people who are just horrible human beings, but then they pretend to be victim because their life is hard. Like, please don't be like that, bitch, because that's what got me sucked into the situation. Like, I told you guys, I didn't even know what kind of job he had. I didn't even really know this fool. I didn't really even know this guy to be so sucked in to the point that I was sleeping in a fucking car with him. Like, basically, he came to me. We were probably dating about like 3-5 months. He comes to me and he's like, oh, my auntie kicked me out. He was living with his auntie. I live with my auntie. My auntie is basically like my second mom. She's like my best friend. If my auntie cut me off, and I need you guys to understand that. I need you guys to understand this. I mean, if my auntie cut me off right now, I would have literally no one. And I always talk about like loneliness and this and that, but like, I'm dead serious. If my auntie cut me off right now and told me to get out of her house, I would have nowhere to go. I would have no one. And that is what really like made me empathize and give so much energy to my ex-boyfriend, because I understood what that felt like. Like, fuck, I only had one person in my corner. This person has given up on me. And it's just like, I felt like looking at my ex-boyfriend was like looking in a mirror of what my life could be if I didn't have my aunt. And that's why I had extreme empathy and compassion for this kid. I know what it feels like not to fit in with your family. I know what it feels like to be a black sheep. I know what it feels like to try so fucking hard and constantly be knocked down. And he preyed upon that. Like, let's just keep it a fucking buck here. Like, he preyed upon my compassion. He preyed upon, you know, the fact that instead of healing myself, I was running around trying to heal other people. I don't know why he wasn't even living with his mama. Like, you have a mom, but you're living with your dad's sister, and your dad abandoned your family. Like, he's not even in the picture anymore. So like, girl, like, I can't make it make sense to you because it don't make no sense to me. Oh my God, like, you guys, like, I can't even find the words to tell you like how heartbroken I was for this fool when he came to me and was like, I have nowhere to go. I immediately started sneaking him into my auntie's house. Immediately. Like, I didn't even think twice about it. We were already like hooking up in the middle of the night, like when my auntie was asleep. So I just took it to the next level, and I was like, you know what, like, you could sleep here. Like, I extended that olive branch. And now that I'm older and I've like sat down and had conversations with my aunt made like a very valid point. Like, how are you gonna offer somebody's house and you contribute nothing? Like, I didn't want to wash dishes. I didn't want to pay bills. A bitch didn't even want to buy toilet paper and paper towels. And I'm going to offer up somebody else's house. That's why, like, this story is just shame. Shame. You know, some people are homeless because of, like, legitimate reasons. I was homeless because I was naive. I was weak. I was just delusional, bitch. I was fucking delusional. I was not in my right mind. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, even though I love that kid and I had compassion for him, like, my priority was like where I need to go in life. I have no idea how it went from like I matter more to like you matter more than me. Like, I'm just gonna put this hand completely off the camera because he was like here and I was like nowhere on the spectrum. That's how much I prioritized him in my life. I want to backtrack a little bit. Before my ex-boyfriend came to me and told me that he was homeless, and before I took his broke ass in, we got into like our first physical altercation. This is a true story. We got in our first physical altercation. This was probably 2 weeks before I was like, oh my God, you're homeless. I don't even remember what happened, but he ended up punching me in my ribs. And that was like the first time I'd ever experienced domestic violence. That was the first time I experienced that. And I was like that. It hurt for like 5 days. Every time I tried to sit up, I had like a pain in my rib. And then maybe the third day of experiencing this pain in my rib, like the second or third day after he punched me, he knocks on my door in the middle of the night. He's like, oh my God, like, can I sleep here? I have nowhere to go. And I simply was like, no. You punched me in my ribs, and every time I sit up, it literally hurts to breathe. And I shut the door in his face. Why couldn't I keep that energy? Like, what was it about this guy? Like, do you follow me? Okay. How I actually ended up homeless, my ex-boyfriend would climb through my window to get in the house. He would either come before my auntie got off work. I knew what time she would get off work. So he would either come before then, and then me and him would just be locked up in my room, which would get so hot. I wouldn't leave to pee. It was like so stupid. Like, you literally have to be 18 or 19 to think that what I did made sense, because it was so fucking stupid. Like, seriously, we was locked in here. He couldn't even use the restroom. If he had to do a number 2, like, it was just all bad for him, because once he came in the house, that was it. You couldn't go in the kitchen. You couldn't go in the bathroom. Like, you're not even supposed to be here. It was so Anne Frank. I was literally hiding a human being. And then it was burnt out too, because like I said, he was climbing through my window. So like, my neighbors would catch him climbing through my window. He was climbing through my window so much that there was like black streaks from his shoes under my window. So even if I lied, right, and said, oh no, like, they're lying, he doesn't sneak into my bed, da da da, there were literally marks under my window that literally looked like, well, somebody trying to climb in here. It got to the point where, and I really want my young viewers to understand this. I don't want to sound harsh, but if you're not 30 years old, and this is myself included, you don't know shit. The only reason that I know some of the things that I know is because I've lived like a very sick ass life. Like, I've gone through some things that I wouldn't wish other people to go through at my age. If you're younger and you don't want to listen to your family, you don't want to listen to anybody, you think you know everything, and you only take advice from like people who look like you or people that you look up to on the internet, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm gonna tell you, like, you really don't know shit. You should really humble yourself. You should really gain some life experiences before you try to walk around like with your nose in the air or give advice to people. Like, just think about what I'm saying before you press send on some tweet trying to judge somebody, because I'm pretty sure you don't really know shit either. That's how I walked around. Like, I walked around with my nose in the air. I was so egotistical. This was around the time when I was sugaring as well. So I was getting my own money. I was definitely in my bag. Nobody could tell me nothing. At this point in my life, I had my own car. Like, nobody could tell me nothing. So many things didn't dawn on me, but the biggest point that I'm trying to make is that my head was so far up my young dumb ass that I really didn't think that my 50-something-year-old aunt didn't notice I was sneaking some foreign person into our home. The day where I actually like got kicked out and was homeless, I had left my ex-boyfriend in the house while I went on a sugar daddy date. The catfishing thing wasn't really working for me anymore. The well was drying up. Left him in my house. Walked past my auntie. I mean, I got ready for the date and everything while the boy was in my room and my auntie was in the living room. Walked past my auntie and everything. Went on this date. Enjoyed a nice ass dinner. Everything. The whole 9 yards, bitch. I was gone for like 2 hours, bitch. When the date's over, the sugar daddy tries to get me to go back to his house. I was just so uncomfortable. He was so touchy. I was just like, no. So right when I decided I'm gonna leave, because he was making me like uncomfortable, you know, with the touching and everything, I'm driving through Beverly Hills and my boyfriend calls me and he's like, Brianna, you don't have nowhere to live. Brianna, Janice kicked you out. My auntie didn't even call me. She didn't even call me. And I was such a spoiled brat that I thought, okay, well, let me just drive home. Let me figure this out. Or maybe I didn't even go home. Maybe I just went to my best friend's house at the time, because I really thought that I was running shit. Like, I really thought that I ran this house and I contributed nothing. I went, I found my boyfriend, and I avoided going home. And for about a week straight, I just made a series of terrible decisions. I did not accept that I was homeless. I was just doing me, living my life. I was barely coming home anyway, and I thought this will blow over. One day, after I was kind of getting tired of the lifestyle that I was living, like I wasn't getting any sleep. I was hanging out with like very bizarre people and I was exhausted. Like being homeless is mentally draining, you guys. You end up around people you don't even want to be around because you don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to feel like I have nowhere to go. That's one of the worst, absolute worst feelings in the world, when you're like on the train or on the bus and it's like the evening and everyone on the bus or on the train, you just know that they have somewhere to go and you don't. That's like one of the worst feelings in the world. And like, I really tried to be independent and, you know, I don't need my auntie. I can do this on my own. I really tried. Nothing was working. When I came home to test the waters, I actually came because I wanted to get some stuff out of the house. The locks were changed. I lost my mind. When I saw the lock, it's not even that I saw, like when I felt the locks was changed, I lost my mind. Like I drove to my other auntie's house all the way in Inglewood and I just was sitting outside her house. I wanted someone to look me in my face and tell me that I didn't have anywhere to live and nobody cared. When I came back after a week of just bullshitting and wasting my life and just being spiritually and physically exhausted and not being able to turn the key, like that was when I mentally snapped, because I was trying to run away from the truth, which was that I fucked up and now I'm on the street. My uncles and my mom, I don't know if you guys have family members like this, but they always told me like, ain't nothing in the streets. There ain't nothing in the streets. They always told me that. And yeah, there's nothing in the streets. It's just weird ass people who are lost. You know how they say birds of a feather flock together? That's true. A lot of the corny stuff that people say is true, man. Because the people that I was associating with to take my mind off the fact that I was homeless, I really regret that they ever even knew who I was. My auntie, she likes to have like the red table talks. We need to sit down. We need to have a whole Oprah episode, okay? She blocked my number. I basically had to force our paths to cross. When she finally was willing to give me the time, I was so out of my mind from being in the street. Her not immediately telling me that I could come home, it sent me like, I was like, bitch, it was basically like I was possessed. I physically attacked her. Like, I told her that like I loved my ex-boyfriend and she doesn't know what it's like to be in love. I just was saying some very sick shit. Some very bizarre, like, but you know, hurt people hurt people. I was just hurt and lost, and she's the only person in my life that I can count on and I can depend on, and I didn't have her, and I just turned into like rage, and I punched my auntie in the face over this boy because she didn't understand why I felt so much sympathy for someone that I would sabotage my relationship with her. I would ruin my trust with her for a boy. She saw straight through my ex-boyfriend and she didn't know what I saw. Learn from me, bitch. Yeah, I punched my auntie in the face. I popped a blood vessel in her eye. I was getting karma bad. My car broke down. Let me tell you something. What did I say? I said about a week, right? So this was a week after being homeless, being on the street. After I punched my auntie in the face, my boyfriend started to get abusive with me. Karma hit me like this. I am not joking. I cannot make this shit up. Karma hit me like pow, okay? I punched my auntie in the face, still feel entitled. Still go back over there, and it wasn't even like I was gonna apologize. It wasn't even like I went back over to apologize. It was like I came back to bully her more. Like, okay, so you ready to let me come back? Like on some shit. And then I come over there, the police are there. I'm so lucky that I didn't go to jail. But yeah, like when I came back after punching my aunt told me that she wouldn't call the police on me. And then she waited a few days and she called the police. Like, she kind of set me up. I'm not even gonna sit up in here and lie. Like, she made it like, it was kind of like we were gonna come and, I don't know. After, you know, after punching my auntie, her calling the police on me, and being fortunate enough to not go to jail, my boyfriend started to like beat me up. Like my boyfriend started to beat me up. I wear glasses. I remember one time I had absolutely nothing. Like when my auntie kicked me out, I was 100% dependent on that boy. Like I didn't have anything. I was already dependent on my auntie. And my auntie has things. So I went from being dependent on an established person to someone my age that was homeless before me. I remember one time we got in an argument and he was leaving me. And girls, you know how this is, like when your man trying to leave you and it clicks something in you because you're like, what the fuck? I'm trying to fight for this relationship. Why are you walking away from me, right? Yeah, I was like fighting for the relationship and I'm like, wait, why are you walking away from this situation? This is not a walk away from situation. Like now it's literally me and you and you're abandoning me. Like I didn't do this shit to you. Like I let you come into my home and now that I'm literally in the dirt and in the mud with you, now I'm useless to you, right? Now your real colors coming out. My ex-boyfriend turned into an absolute monster. He literally like, he would beat me up, like literally, I'm sorry, putting myself, this story time is crazy, man. But like basically, you know, one of the arguments that I had after all of these things, he like takes my glasses, he like pushed me, right? Because I'm like chasing him down the street. I'm like, where are you going? Like, you can't leave me. Like, you're the only person I have. Like, it's me and you now, like, period. And I'm also like very aggressive too. So I wasn't saying it like a girl. I was saying it like I was from the streets. I was like, no, like, this is how it is. You don't get to just fuck up my life and leave. I will never forget this because sometimes when I go past Dorsey, which is a high school in LA, it's like I could see it in my mind. Like I can't get it out my mind, you guys. He literally pushed me down. And then when my glasses came off my face, he like stomped on them, bitch. And I remember like we wasn't far from my grandma's house and I don't really have a relationship with my grandma, and I remember like picking up my glasses and I wanted to go to my grandma's house so bad. And I don't even get along with my grandma. And I was just like, my vision? Like that was very cruel to me, very weird to me. That why would you stomp my glasses out? Like you don't want me to fucking see? I would still try to maintain my mask, you know. I still try to be this person that it was literally impossible to be because I was homeless. I was like going to the library, trying to look for jobs. Like when I was homeless, like I had no savings. I lost my job. I was working. I was catfishing and I was working, but I was working for like a telemarketing place. I got hit with a ton of bricks that was reality. I didn't take my job seriously, and because I didn't take my job seriously and I didn't respect my job, I ended up getting fired. So now I have no income, and on top of that, the only income that I have is absolutely 100% unreliable. My car breaks down. My family literally ostracized me. Nobody wanted to talk to me. I would just be in the library all day looking for jobs while my boyfriend was at work, and he worked with his best friend at the time at some movie theater. And here's the crazy part, you guys. Like, this was a clearly traumatic and sad time in my life, and every time I would get into it with my ex-boyfriend and I would tell him like when we were homeless I had to sell my car to have somewhere to sleep and shower, because this is the kind of boyfriend that I had. He would go in his auntie's house and shower, and he wouldn't even like make sure that I could shower. And what I mean by that is like, okay, let's go to the women's shelter, let's go to the YMCA, let's sign up for the gym. None of that. He would literally leave me in the car because we slept in his car, or we would sleep in my car. We would sleep in 2 different cars. Bitch, I sold my car so we could have somewhere to sleep and shower. I catfished so hard. I took up odd jobs. Like, I did everything for us. And he was working and he was making like $1,000 every 2 weeks. And he was taking his money while we were homeless and going to the skate park and getting pissy drunk with his friends and then coming back and fighting me. And it's like, he would really try to tell me like later on down the line in the relationship that, oh no, that didn't happen. Like I wasn't working at iPick during that time. Yeah, you were. Because I remember we need to get a room. I can't just keep paying for the rooms. He didn't pay for one room. And we stayed in that lot. All his money went to his friends and getting drunk with them. While you got somebody, like literally, I would walk the streets. I would literally walk the streets and lie to my friends and just, I was so alone every day. He was like my only source of happiness and like security. And I was alone. I see that now, you know? I see that now. That he didn't care. Like, I couldn't do nothing for him. I remember I had to go, like, I couldn't handle not showering. It was taking a toll on me, like, not being normal and having to keep up this lie. I went to go stay with my friend, my best friend at the time, and he told me, you guys, he was like, I'm gonna find us somewhere to go. Like, when you come back, we're not gonna sleep in this car. We were sleeping in his car in his auntie's parking lot. I don't think you guys understand how sad that is. He had family. We were sleeping in the parking lot. We was sleeping behind my grandma's house. I remember after those 2 weeks of being with my friend and having a little taste of normalcy, coming back and seeing that he was still, that car was in the same place. He didn't get the car fixed, bitch. The car didn't even move. Let me tell you that. The car had broke down. We were sleeping in a car that couldn't even move. When I came back after 2 weeks and I saw that he didn't do nothing, I literally snapped. I snapped. I was homeless with my ex-boyfriend for 2 months. We were so stupid. Like, we never left the area that we grew up in. We would hold each other sleeping in the car, and people would like knock on our window and be like, I'll never forget this lady knocked on my window because it was my car. And she was like, you know, we don't want you sleeping on our street. We've been trying to figure out if you guys are homeless or not, but can you just not sleep on our street anymore? Literally woke us up in the summer heat to say, yeah, we didn't want to call the police on you because we figured you were homeless. Can you just not sleep on our street anymore? Forget about the fact that my boyfriend was spending his money getting pissy drunk, probably cheating on me, right? Like, oh, I made her homeless, but let me do whatever I want to do. Like, just evil. Even beyond all of that, the violence is why I was like, I need to go back home. The blatant disregard for my humanity. Like, I would look in my ex-boyfriend's eyes and like, they would be like, I don't want to say black, but they would be like empty. And he would get increasingly and increasingly more violent and hateful towards me every day. That's when I knew that I needed to go home. You know, I am gonna smoke after this story. I need to smoke after this story. This is like, I'm crying because I'm putting myself in my shoes and I didn't deserve it, what I went through. Like, he literally waited until I had no one and I had nothing to show me who he really was, which is a monster. It just got so bad that I sucked up my pride. Like, my pride didn't matter to me anymore. I didn't care if my auntie had me blocked. I didn't care. I needed to go back home. I swallowed my pride and I took my ass back home. And I didn't talk to my boyfriend for like 2 months, I think. I didn't talk to him because my auntie was like, if you're gonna come back and live here, you cannot talk to him. At the end of this story, I just want to say, I don't know what you can learn from me, but do not let people fuck your life up. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel so bad for people that you don't show that love to yourself, you know? Don't give so much love to someone else that you end up not having anything. Let me I don't know if this story time is about being homeless, surviving homelessness, domestic violence, or toxic relationships. The only reason that I wanted to make this video is to like help somebody. I knew that at the end of the day, somebody is gonna be able to learn something. I feel like crying again. It's so annoying, man. I want you guys to know at the end of this video that you can overcome anything, because I constantly overcome bullshit and I keep getting better and better and better and better and better. That's why people hate me. I don't want you guys to experience the unnecessary fucking pain that I've experienced. I just, whatever you think about me by the end of this video, I don't care. I just want you fucker, to learn from my mistakes. I I promise I'm gonna get a therapist so I can just stop crying on camera. This is getting out of control. That's the story of how I was homeless, okay? I already knew that this was gonna be emotional for me. I'm surprised that I went as long as I did in the video without crying. Like, give this video a thumbs up just because of that, okay? If you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up. Blue. Support your girl. Get those fingers moving in the comments below. And tell me, like, whatever you want to tell me. I really don't know because I'm so in my feelings right now. But, you know, anything positive, or if you want to share your story, or if you want to give words of encouragement to, like, our community, because we're all here for each other, like, do that. A comment that you would want to hear, or that you wish you heard when you was going through, like, a fucked up time in your life. I feel like that would just raise the vibration. With that being said, I love you guys. And I'm a bad bitch. You cannot kill me. Always know that. Always remember that. Always know that about Bri. I'm a bad bitch. You cannot kill me. Till next time.